After a 0-4 2 weeks, they are now 3-0 in their past 3 games. Zion, is this the turnaround? I think I asked Pobelter this question last week, but are you guys actually gonna? Did your slump start in the middle of the season, and then now at the end you'll finish strong?
I don't really think it was necessarily a turnaround. It was more just us like learning from our mistakes and actually improving. So it wasn't like we were like going like we're like tilting off the face of the earth. It was more like we were losing, but they were pretty close games. We were just making a couple major errors in the games that we lost. And instead of like getting worse from those mistakes, we actually are learning from those mistakes and focusing on improvement. And I think that's basically what the change is. It's not that we made some radical like turnaround. I think it's just that we are on the path to improvement and success.
Now, do you think that that's at all because of the fact that you guys lost to like some of the harder teams, and then you guys are now facing easier teams, or is it really just because you learned some lessons from those games?
Well, I think when you lose games, it's easier to get more out of a game because you look at it and you're like, wow, what are the main factors that we lost this game? You can still get a lot out of winning a one game. Like this Team Liquid game we won today, there's so much we can improve on. But when you lose a game, especially against those big teams, you get more out of it. And it really shows if you're a team strong enough to come back from those losses and come back as a team. Instead of, like a lot of times when teams start losing a lot of games, they start questioning like the way things are run, like the way they want to play. They're trying to find some answer in why are we losing games? What can I do so we can win games? And if as a team you all come down to the same conclusion and focus on that way of improvement, then you're set as a team to improve as a team. But if everyone starts like believing their own things, like I have to carry the game, I'm the only one who can win this game for us, then that's when you're not a team anymore and everything is gone. And CLG, this split, I feel, is becoming more and more of a team.
I'd love to ask you about some of the other teams right now that are in interesting positions. Gravity looking incredibly strong. What do you think of that team? Because I feel like a lot of people kind of write them off, but then they're in a pretty good first place position.
Oh, yeah, okay, so sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought there. I was just lost in your eyes, Travis. But anyways, I think Gravity's pretty good, but they only have like one style that they're really good at, which is like the carry jungler and like the tank top laner, and they have the Zerg rush style, and I feel like they're not that flexible. I think they found something really good, but I don't really think they're a world-class team at the moment, and I think they still have a lot to learn. I think they're pretty good at the strategy they do have, but I want to see more of them before I make a judgment on if they're a world-class team and if they're the best team in NA.
Yeah. Now, what do you think of TSM right now? Because they seem to be kind of doing that thing that you guys did previously where they're taking a bit of a dip in their games. They've lost several games recently. What do you think of them as a team?
I just think TSM has lost their identity. So before, they've always been a let's let Bjergsen carry the games. Let's be a mid-centric team. Bjergsen's on Ahri. Bjergsen's on LeBlanc. Like, he's just these mid-game champions that can take over the game. But you don't really see that right now in this meta. You don't really see the mid laners completely controlling the game. Like, even Faker, like, Marin is the person playing the carries. Faker isn't playing the main carry. Marin is. He's playing, like, TP Ignite Fizz and stuff like that. And that just shows me that basically, like, the meta's shifting, and it can't be all about Bjergsen. Dyrus, Santorin, Lessboy, they have to work better together. Dyrus has to, like, I feel, just, like, be more of that carry top laner, I feel, in certain circumstances. Or they need to find their groove. So Gravity has, the tank top laner and the carry jungler. And TSM, I don't really think they have that, like, identity or that style that they're really good at right now. They're just kind of lost, I feel. And I don't think Bjergsen can take the burden by himself in terms of other players need to step up more in terms of like carrying the game.
What is CLG's groove or identity then?
It's a great question, Travis. Some questions should not be answered, but if I had to answer that question, the groove would be me playing Ignite TP Fizz every game, and hopefully that doesn't get banned.
Yeah, I mean that's what's interesting to me is that I feel like in the past people have criticized CLG for having that kind of like, oh, this is double lift is supposed to carry or something along those lines. And you mentioned, and now I feel like a lot of people say like, oh, the reason CLG is successful now is because they sort of don't put it all on one person or have this kind of one-dimensional thing. Like you guys are trying to do something a little bit more holistic. So it's interesting to me to hear you say that like Gravity has this one style, or like, and that's good for them, and like that works for them, and that TSM needs to figure out what their style is, because it seems like you guys don't really have like a specific style right now.
Yeah, I feel like we can run like a lot of different styles. Right now we've been running a lot of like I'm being the carry of CLG, like when I'm playing TP Ignite Fizz, but we can kind of switch around to any style, and I think that's pretty important.
Yeah, what do you think of the changes that are coming in the next patch? Because I mean, AP items, I understand that AP top laners are supposed to be pretty popular.
Yeah, so that basically just makes it easier for AP champions to itemize. So getting Zanyas, getting like the large rod to buy these big items, basically just makes AP champions better, because you can get those big buys and you can get more efficient buys. It doesn't make them that much stronger, but there's like a little bit of power added, and you're definitely going to be seeing more AP tops.
Do you expect that to alter your champion pool dramatically at all?
Yeah, I don't have a champion pool, Travis. I have a champion ocean. I'm like a fisherman. I put my hand in there. I'm like, I wonder what champion I'm going to play today. Yeah. Pull it out. Oh, looks like it's Fizz today. But, tomorrow, Riven, Fiora, Jax, maybe Nasus again. Like, who knows? Like, I could be playing Quinn top lane for all you know tomorrow, Travis. It's just, yeah, I've got a champion ocean.
Seems like you're trying to pull, like, a Keen thing.
What? Travis, don't compare me to Keen. Okay. This is my own thing. I'm not just playing Urgot and Hecarim mid sometimes. Yeah. All right, this is like a whole new meta. Travis, this is the top lane too.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Is there anything that you would like to say to any of the fans out there, Zion?
Yeah, I'd like to say thanks for sticking around, guys. I don't know if you want to call this Faith Age, Golden Age, Potential.
Bronze Age.
Bronze Age? Okay, Travis calls it Bronze Age. I'm going to think of a cool new creative name for you guys. But thank you guys for sticking with CLG, and thanks to all my friends, family, and my teammates. And Marking and Travis for doing a great interview. I want you guys to all have a great rest of your lives.
I will have a great rest of my life. Thank you so much, Zion. For everyone else, you can take a look at the rest of our League of Legends coverage at gamespot.com/LOL.